Welcome back, guys, to episode 2 of Harvest. Today, we are starting corn harvest. Last time I saw you guys, it was October 9th. It's October 12th now, been about 4 days. And we're going back to the farm to grease up the combine, make sure it's ready, and make sure the corn header works. And there's Lawson. He's cultivating up his soybean field because his yield wasn't good, and I guess he thought he might as well just plow it up and save the money for next year. Anyway, we're here at the farm. We're gonna pull the old Ford right there and get the combine warmed up. Also, boys, I've been meaning to let y'all know, I'm thinking about trading in the Ford, selling it to a guy for a little bit of a downgrade. We've been talking on Facebook Marketplace for a little bit, and he's willing to pay me quite a bit of money. But that's not till later, so for now, let's get this combine ready. We ended up taking this thing into John Deere, and we put on an entirely new grain tank, because if y'all watched the last video, we got full almost instantly. For now, we're going to hook the auger cart up to our Ford and get it out of the way to get the header out of there. Alright, we should be able to pull this thing around and not scrape anything first, so let's actually fold it so we don't hit something with our ladder. We're just going to swing this thing around. We should be able to attach it. And boom, we got it. This is a really small corn head. It's about the same size as our combine, but anyway, we're gonna get this thing greased up and get it ready for harvest. First thing always is to attach the PTO, hop in the combine, and take this thing outside. And as we're pulling this thing out here, y'all might be wondering why the top of the grain extension is so destroyed. It's actually because I bought this thing used off of another combine, and they installed it and gave it to me for $3,000 cheaper. So I was like, obviously I'm doing that. Everything else on my farm is used anyway. But enough yapping by me. We're gonna get this thing greased. Bro, I keep hearing deer run around me since we're in the middle of the forest, and I keep thinking it's Michael Myers around the corner. Anyway, we're gonna get this combine greased up. Alright, it's been a little bit, and the combine's greased up. We're also gonna fill it up on gas. We'll actually swing by Lawson's farm and see if he has any gas that we can buy from him. Or maybe he'll be nice and let us have it for free. I just got off the phone with Lawson. He's actually out of town right now. He should be back later today, so I think we're fine for right now. We have about half a tank, a little bit less than a half a tank. And what is that? I don't know what's going on at Cole Farms, but something weird, fishy's going on there. We're gonna knock out the home field first. They should be pretty good yield. It actually rained 2 nights ago, and I left that set up there, so hopefully it didn't get messed up. It shouldn't, but sometimes with older tractors, you never know. The gator is pretty slow, but it's better than running. We're about to the farm, and rate the new jacket. Picked this thing up at Tractor Supply yesterday, and it's keeping me pretty warm. Fire up to 7810. There we go. Alright, got the grain cart hooked up, and we're gonna head to home field. Alright, we're kinda going on the left lane of the road here. It's because we're gonna pull in right here and park right behind the combine. I'm actually super pumped for the yield this year. The yield should be amazing on this field. Alright, let's get in the combine. Fire up. And make sure... We almost forgot to attach the PTO. Hop back into the combine. And make sure it runs. Is it unfolded? Alright. The header seems to be working. Accidentally hired an AI worker. The header seems to be working, and let's start this field. Hold on, let me get Starfire set up here. There we go. And let's just hop up on the yield map on the laptop in here and see how yield's doing. Oh, you actually can't tell a difference from this year to last year right now. That's not good. It might be because I didn't apply nitrogen to this half of the field. I only applied it to this half. So we'll see if our yield gets any better when we start the other side of the headlands. 95%, 96%. Oh yeah, the yield's improved a lot. Oh yeah, that is awesome. I got scared there for a second, but nothing to worry about. And I decided to do a pass right down the middle to kind of separate the two parts of this field. And it's really not going to take us long. Alright, we got Caden under the combine here. We fired Johnny because he missed a whole entire headland, so we got Caden back in here, and we're making sure to pay him good so he doesn't miss headlands. And there goes Caden. If you open up our little yield monitor here, we have probably improved about 50% from last year. Last year's yield was 60 or 70. Don't even think about it. This year's yield is 100 probably, 95, 100, so probably like 30%. A little bit of 100 in there, mostly 95%, but anyway, it's improved a lot. And what in the world is Caden doing? Oh, I thought he was going to back up all the way here and redo it, but he's just making room for the next headland. For some reason, the AI is cutting really weird on this field, so I'm just going to do this field myself and then let him do that field over there. And we finished field 1 of corn. This tank is actually so big, I didn't fill up once on that field, and that was actually like pretty good yielding corn. That was like 88 to 95% yielding corn, and we didn't fill up a single time. So we're just going to head over to this field quick, and this field is by far going to take the longest, so that's pretty much what the majority of this video is going to be. Alright, first bit of harvest on the 50-acre field. This is going to be a long harvest, but it's going to pay off in the end. And we got Caden rolling the combine. It's going to be kind of hard to keep up with him, especially since this field is probably going to yield the best, but I think we're going to be able to do it. Let's go grab it, the 7810. Alright boys, we've just been sitting at the house waiting for the combine to get full, and the guy texted me and he said he wants to make this thing a deal. So there's this guy on Facebook Marketplace. He wants to make a trade with me. I'm trading him my truck. We're trading trucks, and he's also paying me $2,000 because it's right here. It's a 2015 Ford F350, and we're planning a trade. How's it going, man?
Good, how about you?
I'm doing pretty good today. So, you trying to make this thing a deal?
Yes, sir.
So we'll trade trucks here, and are you willing to pay me $2,000 extra since my truck's like kind of custom and
Yes,
2 years
sir.
newer? All right, that's pretty easy. All right, appreciate that. And you can't end anything without a handshake. Appreciate it. So, are the keys inside of her?
Yes, sir. Keys inside of
And
here.
here's the keys. They're in my pocket right here.
Thank you. It's
Yes,
gonna be my
sir.
son's high school truck.
Really? Well, he's gonna enjoy driving that thing around. I've had a lot of good memories in that, but when you need money, you need money. And oh my gosh, he's on steroids. All right, take care, man.
You too.
Guys, check out this new truck. It's not even that bad of a truck. We got $2,000 and a brand new truck. This thing is awesome. This thing looks fire. It's got a flatbed on it. It's got 19-inch dualies. And this thing is much more quieter than that other truck. So I can actually hear and think straight. Anyway, boys, we just made a pretty big purchase. We are heading over to pick up this old gravity wagon. It's a Brent 744 gravity wagon. It cost us around $20,000. This guy upgraded his grain setup, so he's selling this thing, and it's actually at his house for some reason. So we're navigating through the streets of Moccasin, Montana, looking for this thing. And I think I see it up here to the right. Ooh, through here. Don't want to kill anybody. Anyway, there it is, right there. We spent $20,000 on this. This is a huge upgrade from that Parker we rented last episode. And this is going to work a lot better. Anyway, let's get this thing attached, and let's go head back to the field with our new truck. Pulling over to the new field right here, and I love this truck 10 times more than the other one. This truck, it just looks so much more cleaner and so much more like a farm truck. Anyway, I don't think we're going to fully empty him, but we'll unload Caden a little bit so we can get rolling, hopefully to the end of the headland up there. And we're full. And we're gonna go dump into our new gravity wagon, or new to us, of course. And while we're waiting on Caden to make his headland, this yield is looking awesome, man. Look at that. We're yielding about 115 to 110, like I guessed. This is obviously gonna be the best yielding field. This is gonna be a little sketchy here, but I don't see any cars coming right now, so we're gonna try to pull this thing around and unload into our gravity wagon. Luckily, our tractor's not fully on the road, so cars can still get by, but this is still pretty sketchy. Alright, we're yielding so good, he wasn't even able to make it a full headland around yet. We emptied him probably about right here, and he was only able to go this far before he got full. We're yielding like completely green. This is perfect. 115, 110, and 105. I don't even think we're anywhere below 105 right now. That is awesome. The only bad thing is, though, is this silo is full of Milo, so we gotta take our truck all the way back, all the way down through here to our farm, which is about 3 miles, 3.5 miles. It's not too bad, but it would definitely be awesome to put up another silo here so we don't gotta take them all the way back to our farm every time. Anyway, Kane's rolling again. Luckily, Kane cut a rail right here, so we're able to fit right here and start unloading. And while we're unloading, let's actually be nosy and go see what Lawson's up to. By the way, his farm changed a lot since last video. He picked up all of these fields right here. He picked up this field, this field, this field. Also, I think he's growing wheat there. Those 3 fields, and also this field right by my farm. So we're pretty much neighbors. We actually are neighbors. He's like the closest farm to me. Alright, we just topped off the gravity wagon, and we're gonna go unload Caden. And we're unloading. Alright, he's good, and we're gonna pull back. He should be able to make it this whole headland, I think. So we're gonna pull back around, head over to the truck, and take it to the silos at the farm. But one day, it would be very nice to upgrade this gravity cart. Oh my gosh, I said it wrong again. All last video, I said gravity cart. This auger cart. Gosh dang. Start up the old 6-7 liter. Gosh dang, I'm slipping. What the heck? That's actually really realistic, but also pretty bad if I'm slipping. Well, it's also probably because I am completely full. But we got the hazards on, and we're gonna very slowly take this back to the farm. Oh gosh, we're not able to slow down. This thing is so hard to drive. That's like 15 tons probably. Maybe not that much, but it's quite a bit. But we're just gonna leave this here for now, and we actually gotta go pick up the trailer right here and put the Alice Chalmers on it. We gotta attach to the trailer, drive back, pick up the Alice Chalmers, drop the Alice Chalmers here in the trailer, and then go back and pick up the auger. We got a lot of stuff to do. Alright, we're pulling into the farm here, and Hayden's about 58% full and could run out of gas at any minute now. Alrighty, we got it attached. Somehow this thing fires. I was worried about it since I left it out in the rain here last night. It rained last night and 2 nights ago. And I'm actually surprised. Luckily it was pretty hot today. The soil was able to dry this morning, so we're not slipping too bad. Alright, we're loading up the Alice Chalmers. That should be good. Shut it off and strap it down. Alright, we just made it back to the farm with the Alice Chalmers, and we'll get this thing unloaded and head back and pick up the auger cart, or just the auger. We made it back to the auger. Kane's been full for about like 10 minutes now, so he's probably just sitting in the combine watching the squad, waiting for my slow butt to get there. Alright, we made it back to the farm, and we're gonna go ahead and set up the auger. I'm gonna be honest with you guys here, the last bins were too big, so I had to replace them with shorter but wider bins. Alright, we gotta line this thing up perfectly. You don't want to run over the auger right there. We should be able to unload here now. There we go. We'll start unloading and make sure this thing is also, it should be. Let's go check the silo. Yep, we're putting in corn. While that is unloading, let's take a look at corn prices here. We're gonna need to wait till about July to get the highest corn prices. Definitely don't want to sell right now because it's only 298 bushels. Wait, $298 a bushel. But if we wait till July, it's gonna be $896 a bushel. Alright, we unloaded, and we should be able to pull through here, get this thing turned around. There should be enough room in here. Yeah, we got enough room. Alright, that's awesome. We're gonna have to do that about 596 billion, and 337,392 more times. Alright, we just made it to the field in the Super Duty, and we're gonna go get Caden unloaded. Alright, we just got Caden unloaded, and he should start rolling here again. And we're gonna go back and fill up the Brent gravity wagon. We'll start unloading into the Brent, and I just realized we are actually really close to scraping the auger on the Brent. That is actually like really close, so we gotta be careful. Anyway, if y'all remember from last video, I said if I make $25,000, I was going to buy a gravity wagon or lease one. And I think that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take this load back to Montana Prairie Ag and Supply, sell this thing, and use that money to buy a new gravity wagon. I say buy, I mean lease. We are here on the north end of the field, and we're going to unload Caden. I think he's starting his last headland here. We're going to top this thing off, and I think it's about time to upgrade the grain cart. And it's full. Hopefully it don't spin out a lot. Oh gosh, we're spinning a ton. We'll get this thing sold and pick up a new grain cart. And boom, here we are. Montana Prairie Ag Supply. Best prices since 1909. And let's open it. We're not going to make as much from this corn as Milo, but we should still make quite a bit, hopefully. Alright, we're back at 22,000. If we get 25,000, I'll lease that Dimco. Let's see if it's still in stock. Where is it at? It should be up here somewhere. The Dimco is still in stock, and I can lease it for $3,493. That is if we make 25,000, which we should. And boom. We hit 25,000 and we're still 50% full. And $30,000, just like that. Alright, we're gonna lease this thing, have everything stock. Actually, we might change up the tires. We'll put Continentals on her. Anyway, $3,495 down the drain. And $3,493 down the drain. Not whatever I just said, but there she is right there. We're gonna run this Brent back to the field and come pick this thing up. Leo fortune handler. Drop this off. Unload Caden for the last time with this grain cart, hopefully. Alright, I think Caden should be good to make it around the headland again, cause he should be at 0. So we're gonna take this thing back, unload it into the gravity wagon, and go pick up our brand new grain cart. And why that's unloading, because it takes so long, we're gonna go pick up the grain cart. This is gonna be the safest thing I've ever done. Don't mind me hauling a 5-ton grain cart down the road with a Ford. We just made it back, and doesn't this thing look sweet at the farm? Some people even say this thing is equivalent to having a second combine, how good it speeds up the operation. And I'm starting to believe those people. Alright, got that unhitched, pop a Yui, and go hook back up to the gravity wagon. Gosh dang, man, we're slipping a lot. We're having a lot of spin on this field. We shouldn't need this anymore, so it's pretty much out of the way right now, so we'll just unhook it right here how it is. And go attach this thing to the brand spanking new grain cart for only 5 days. We're gonna only have this egg for 5 days. I just got up the CB with Cade, and he said he is not getting full, but he is about to run out of gas. So right when he gets to the end of this headland, we're gonna swing by the gas station with the combine and fill it up. Anyway, while we're waiting for Caden to get back, we're gonna head over to the bank and repay about $25,000 of our loan, about as much as we can. And we're here, Montana State Bank. I'm gonna go inside and get this debt paid off. Alright, I'm so happy to do this. Bang, 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 bang. We are officially now $215,000 in debt. That doesn't sound very much better to say, but I think it sounds better than $240,000 in debt. Alright, the combine just made it to the end of the row. I told Kaden to go sit in the truck and watch the squad while I go fill this thing up with some diesel. Luckily this combine and header is really small, so we can drive on the road legally. I think that's the first time I probably said legally in this entire series. Anyway, we're refueling. This is gonna cost me a ton of money. Oh, I just see my money going down. There it goes, guys. There it goes. Since when did fuel cost nearly $1,000? Alright, we made it back. And there goes Katie. Boys, I've been dreaming of this day forever. It's so much easier. This grain cart is so much wider, so it's way easier to unload. Something we actually forgot to check in a while is yield. So let's make sure we're still unloading. And oh my gosh. That yellow was last year's and this green is this year's. That's 110, 115, 105. That is awesome, man. Alright. We finished unloading Caden on the first pass, and we're going to run over this corn to make it look like we actually harvested it. Time to head back. Long, treacherous journey. And unload into the gravity wagon for the first time. And we're unloaded, and holy cow. This thing unloads like 1,000,000,000 times quicker. I'm not even exaggerating. Well, this is full, and we're going to take it back to the farm. And we're unloading. Alright guys, we had to rebuild the silos again because those other ones were too tall and the auger wouldn't reach it. But these are perfect, so I promise y'all this is the last time I'll do that. We got nice wet steel ones and these will last me a while. Alright, we unloaded that and we're back to the field now. Anyway guys, this cycle of taking the truck to the farm, unloading it, coming back, filling the grain cart, unloading in the truck, taking it back. That cycle is just going to keep on repeating and repeating on this field until it's done. So that's pretty boring. So I'm just going to stop filming until we're just about done with the field. Alright boys, we just took the third load to the bin. And I think on this next load, we are going to take it to the elevator and sell it. Because, hold up, I want to get this thing unloading here. Because we've been combining for about 2 hours here. Well, in total, not off vid. In total, on vid and off vid. And this is about, it'll be easier to see it on this. This is about all we've gotten done. And I just feel like the header is just too small, man. So, when the Brent gets full, we're going to take this thing to Montana Prairie Ag. And we're going to sell it. And we are going to buy the John Deere 608C. This is a 6-row corn head, about 20 feet. I feel like this will speed up the operation a ton. And then eventually we can upgrade to something like this, which is the same size as our current header, but much newer and much more reliable, and would overall cut the corn better. So this is something I am thinking about when we start making more money. This load right here should fill this thing up. Boom. We're full. Alright, we're gonna start selling all this grain. This should make us hopefully enough to rent that bigger head. Alright, we're still about 60% full. And we already made enough to lease this. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing leased, and we should make that money back and more. But this Brent 744 sped up this harvest a ton. Without this thing, we would probably still not even be done with the headlands. And this thing's not leased. Like, I actually own this thing. That's cool about it. Like, this is a part of the farm now. It's not just something that we lease, like the grain car or that header. The only bad thing about this Brent is it takes very, very, very long to unload. We've been sitting here for no joke 5 minutes, and this thing's just been slowly emptying. Finally, we just got done unloading that, and we made around $11,000, which is really good. Oh, we stopped Caden just in time before we started the next row. We booked it over here, and we catched him just in time because I forgot to CB radio him, so we don't really have a header trailer right now and cannot afford one, so we're going to empty this combine, drop the header off here for now, and go pick up the new header at John Deere. Alright, detach the PTO and just drop it right here. I don't think anybody would want to steal this. Surely nobody would want to steal a 6-row corn head that barely runs. Alright, we're here at the dealership, and here's the header. I don't think this is overkill for the combine. This is a really small combine that I have, but this is a 8-row corn head. I don't think it's going to be overkill. It looks like this is probably perfect size for it. And we made it back to the field, and before we get Caden back on here, I actually want to test it out because we don't get the opportunity to test out brand new unused equipment very often. Wow, this thing just cuts the corn on a whole different level. This thing is awesome. Well, boys, that's probably going to be the end of this one. We got a lot done today. We traded in our truck. We paid off a huge loan at the bank. We picked up a brand new gravity wagon. We leased this thing that speeds up harvest a ton, and we also bought a new corn head. Or I can't say bought, we leased. But anyway, that's probably going to be the end for this one. Hope y'all enjoyed. We'll probably have one more episode of Harvest and get into tillage and have like some like full cool tug of war with Lawson and Caden. So we'll see. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. See you on the next one. Like and subscribe.